What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dynasty Pylon. It's Wednesday, so you know we have to do our regular Wednesday show. Have a lot of fun.
It's good to be
first
back.
time we let this man be part of the actual making of the show, part of administration stuff. So now I can't just I can kick him out, but unfortunately, he can just come right back in.
I'm back. No more of these segments. None. Zero with these segments of, oh, get out of here, man. Now I'm like, nah. Now wait a second here. You can't.
I can't kick him out. I can actually kick him out of the whole stream. So it's okay. I still have the power, but he's able to be in here until he's not. So how are you feeling?
I am feeling fantastic, man. You know, what a Super Bowl. You know, that was an exciting game, wasn't it? You know, defensively speaking, it was pretty great.
Because I like the nuances, and I played football for such a long time, and I liked seeing how the defensive line, exactly how I told you the defensive line was going to be, they were going to be dominant. And we had this argument, everyone's talking about, oh, there's good. I'm telling you, Seattle's defensive line is going to be dominant. And that was really the change in the entire game. That was the most important part of the entire game. But I like seeing that, seeing how each position was just crazy dominant. It was crazy. I loved watching it. But everyone else around me was like, it's boring as hell.
I'm loving it. Let's go, Sam. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sam in the building. Finally, they took the cuffs off me. I'm ready.
What up, Martin?
What's up, Martin?
Woo! The man, the myth, the legend, the man who runs all this stuff. Here he is. So
awesome. So what do we got on today's agenda?
So today I really want to go over the Super Bowl. We'll wrap up this stuff because this is the end of the season. Let's wrap up the season. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the stats and what happened. Let's talk about what Drake May really is, what he really isn't. Is it Drake May's fault? And then let's wrap that up and put it in a bowl. Let's go into way too early rankings for teams. Actually have the board already set. We already got it already coming up like this. We'll talk about realistic contenders, the very good, even fringe isn't the worst thing, mid-level, not good, very little chance of improving, and dead in the water. So that's where the Jets go, dead in the water. But we'll talk about all that. And then, of course, we have Gridiron Heights. I already have it up, ready to go, ready to roll. I cannot wait to do that, too. We're going to wait for Mark to get in here, but we're not going to wait for him to talk about the Super Bowl. So let's go ahead and break this down. I'm going to start. Well, I ask you some questions about quarterback play. Were you surprised by anyone's quarterback play?
Well, Brian, not really. You're talking about two extremely good defenses that were slugging out with offenses and their own lines. I mean, both QBs really couldn't get much going on. I gotta say, Christian Gonzalez did exactly what he said he would do. He came in, locked down JSN. He came in, locked down pretty much everybody. That secondary did a phenomenal job overall, and their D-line did just enough to cause pressure in the pass game. Talk about running game, that's a whole different story.
But isn't that exactly what you thought was going to happen? Because we talked about JSN. Yeah, so sure, JSN could be pulled out, but what the hell are you going to do about Cooper Kupp? What the hell are you going to do about Rashid Shaheed? And K9's a problem. You remember?
K9 was a big problem.
Before the beginning in the playoffs, we were talking about K9 might get traded.
Yeah,
that's not happening now. I'm glad Martin's in here because guess what? Charbonnet's not getting all those carries this year. K9 is not going to be the dude there, and it makes me feel good because he's in my dynasty team. I've been waiting for him to do something.
Oh yeah. You know, I mean, speaking of, again, going back to the quarterback plays, you know, I was really impressed with Sam Darnold over both quarterbacks because the amount of times he should have been sacked, but he just escaped. Almost every one of those times, I could have swore I counted, I think 3 or 4 times, like he should be sacked.
He was Houdini.
He was Houdini. He reminded me actually how Joe Burrow normally plays. Not comparing to Joe Burrow in any other way, but the way that Joe Burrow always tries to escape sacks because he's always under duress because the offensive line is terrible. I mean, Sam Darnold played like a team or a quarterback who wants to win the Super Bowl. He played like he was the dude, and I'm so happy for him.
If I was going to talk about escaping sacks, the last person I would bring up would be Joe Burrow. But I understand exactly what you're going with. I don't think when I saw him, I literally saw. I mean, it's hard to say Caleb Williams, but it's what we saw in this playoffs. That type of escape. There is times when Sam Darnold was dead to rights. It was no question that he was about to get sacked. And somehow he did a spin. He did a side move.
Oh, yeah.
He moved to run, but to get open and to give someone else an opportunity. He was really, really good. And I wasn't going to be surprised, even though he only had 50% completion rate, if he became MVP, even though it would be a travesty.
Yeah, no, honestly, there are several other players can't wait to get to that I think were deserving of MVP. And one player who got it, was K9, and we can talk about that later. But yeah, it's that Super Bowl, was that a record for the amount of punts that were done in total? I'm pretty sure, right?
So they were close, but they did not. Because they did have those couple scores at the end, and because of the turnovers, it ended up working out for them. But yeah. I mean, think of the final score is still 29-13, which is funny because the under hit.
Yeah, the under hit. And the only part of any prediction that I ever said was right was that the score was going to be weird. That's the only thing. I was wrong about it being like a 2-point game, because that's what we were all thinking was, that was going to be a close game,
I said Seahawks win by at least 10. I was right. I just didn't know it was going to be by at least 20. Like it's almost 20. I mean, so yeah. We got Marty in the building said, I just think it's hilarious that the Vikings fired the GM the moment Sam held up that trophy.
Yeah.
Which is funny because the coach wanted Sam Darnold.
He did.
Everyone else wanted Sam Darnold, and the GM said, no, we're going with the younger guy, which usually works out. But you got to remember, Sam Darnold was only 28 years old. He wasn't an old guy, and he just won 14 games. So he's now won, I think it's been 30 games. It's 29 games in the last 2 seasons. 29 games in the last 2 seasons, which is not bad. That's not
bad at all. Sam Darnold's having a second coming, and he's looking pretty dang good now. He must feel pretty good, Super Bowl champion. Yeah,
no, I love it. Now on the other end, we still have Drake May, which a lot of people are really like. I mean, honestly, they're shitting on him, and I don't think it's totally warranted. When everything I said about Will Campbell was on full display in the Super Bowl, that when you don't have long arms, it's not as long of a route that you have to take around. So even little stuff like when he would go out to the outside and leave the end to the guard. The guard is overwhelmed too quickly because he doesn't push him out far enough. So he doesn't have the strength, and he doesn't have the long arms, and it came to bite him in the ass. It's just exactly what I told you would happen. But it's not that I want to tell you that Campbell's not good. It's that he's a right tackle.
Yes.
Playing left tackle. And he did what his team asked him to do. He did. He made it all the way to the Super Bowl, so it's not like it was terrible. But they had 3 guys on the offensive line who were less than 50% against everyone else in their position. So they really patch-milled it up. And it probably was good the Patriots didn't have to play great competition on both offense and defensive side of the ball, because if they did, they probably wouldn't have made it. This is what it is.
Well, yeah. I mean, truthfully, they did play 2 great defenses beforehand. But yes, at some point, it's just gonna fall apart. But let's not forget, even with that cake of a schedule that they had, they still were tied for the most sacked quarterback throughout the whole season, which is a telltale sign that O-line was the only kryptonite that they truly had. If they just had a good O-line, this game would have been way closer than would have been, because there would not been nearly as many sacks. 6, not 7. I know everybody was talking about there being 7, but it turns out there was only 6 sacks. So
just because of the interception. So at the interception, which was crazy. And you remember, Gridiron Heights said, you will know our defensive line's name. And guess what? We know defensive line's name.
We do. Was there any particular player that surprised you that did well? It could be offense, could be defense.
AJ Barner. Even though I know who he is, and I loved him during the regular season, the fact that he really became the de facto. I know Cooper Kupp had more catches, but AJ Barner was the reason that got that offense started. And he became that real threat to allow K9 to do what the hell he was doing. And boy, did he not look like Le'Veon Bell? Run up to the line, waiting for a second, and then taking off. Like he was so patient with that line. And it's almost like he knew his offensive line could handle what was going on in front of him. These guys weren't going to blow him back. He was going to have time. They weren't going to catch in the backfield, so he could go and do it. And he also didn't have to worry about anyone but being behind him, taking him out. Look how when patience works. See what happens with him.
Yeah, no, it's true. For me, actually, it's gonna be one of the players I'm gonna talk about a little bit later. But Hall, the DN Hall for Seattle, he played. I mean, amazing. He was in his face so many times. Got 2 sacks and a forced fumble. I mean, Hall did great on the snaps that he was in.
But who was he going against?
No, I know he wasn't going. He wasn't going to go against anyone special. I mean, Will Campbell. Oh man.
But I don't want it to be like this fest where you're shitting on Will Campbell, because once again, I think he's a very, very good player. I think he's in the wrong position. I always thought he was going to be in the wrong position. I think right tackle, he's going to be really, really good. And this is why we talked about last week. I said, if they draft the left tackle, they let Morgan Moses go out to pasture, move Will Campbell to right tackle, and then let their guard be a center. That line is much better. They have a center playing guard. So that's just what it is. That's the problem. So I don't think that we have all the issues. I don't, and I see you, Tosh. I don't know if Will Campbell's truly a guard. I think he's a right tackle because he has power.
He does.
And he can move, and I also don't think he's heavy enough to be a guard. Does that sound weird? Because I think he has really good feet, and I don't know if he's big enough to be the guard. But the tackle, I think he'd be a really good tackle. I think his right tackle is like perfect for him, when you don't have to worry about the arm size, when you're not going against these elite pass rushers every play, when you're going to have a lot more help, and you're on the front side instead of the back side. So
yeah.
Dodge also says, Sam, do you think Jalen Hurts will improve this upcoming season, or do you think he's reached his peak in terms of calling, the protection, and audibles?
Well, I think Hurts has been wanting to do things that are a little bit more than just simple. I think that he's been actually requesting it, and I know that they've done it for him in the past where they've let him do what he wants to do. This year, however, with the play caller, they wanted to keep things a little bit more simple. Not that he couldn't handle it, because he has handled complicated, formations or audibles before. Even back in college, they asked him a lot of times to do his audible, especially not in Alabama, but everywhere else he went. In Oklahoma. Yeah, he was. So when people say that he's too simple-minded, he's not. Has he reached his peak? No. He's too young to be saying that. But there are certain things you can say about Hurts that we already know, okay? 1, we know that he doesn't always have the prettiest arm strength. We already know that. We knew that coming out of college. 2, we knew also with deep balls, he has a high risk of causing turnovers to happen. That was something that was prominent in college, also throughout his first few years. What's up, Mark? How you doing, buddy? I earned my stripes now. I can no longer be just removed. I can.
Yeah, he's removed. Just kidding.
Such a shame, Mark. We can't hear you.
Mark, yeah.
Mark, yeah.
Every goddamn time.
There we go. Hey, man. So
talking, can't.
So, anyways, yeah. So to me, I think that he can definitely improve. I think he has shown actually each year he's been getting better and better. I mean, this year he's shown the best at protecting the ball. And I think that is very valuable to see from a quarterback. What I would like to see
improve if Dickerson and Johnson retire,
which just looks like it's going to happen.
If it well, people also said the same thing when Kelsey retired. Are the Eagles going to be able to do the tush push? And they did just fine without him.
I think,
So,
but that's
but
not
they
the
had
same thing. They
somebody in
already
place.
had the next guy.
Someone in place that Kelsey
that's
had
what the
picked
draft
and
is
trained.
for.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
already had
know
the
if
next
they
guy
have
already.
that for those two though.
That's what a
And your
draft
offensive
is
line
for.
coach is
So
already retired.
No, I mean, I think that Mark,
it's fine.
Mark needs to be able to voice that. I think that's true.
Oh, yeah.
You did
So-
you planned out on Kelsey, and I think you even planned out on Lane Johnson. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. When I look at the roster, I think you planned what's going to happen with Lane Johnson. You're not going to have a great right tackle because he's one of the greatest right tackles of all time. So you're going to take a hit, and it's going to be a problem going for. But Dickerson was not planning on. You weren't planning on him retiring, and that might be an issue for Philadelphia going forward. So as much as we don't want to believe it will be, I think it is. And when you look at the two early power rankings, I think it's reflected in that.
I think it's just someone who's spoiled. It's had an offensive line for a very long time. He's just used to it. It's automatic.
I will say the Eagles do and are very fortunate. They typically nail their O-line pretty well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do well in the draft if they were to pick somebody
you have to
who does
focus
well.
on it. Because I think when you look at the draft, right, there's definite guards and tackles that you could take that I think will be very good. If you focus on the offensive line these first 3 rounds, I don't think Philadelphia misses a step. Dickerson can be replaced. I'm just gonna tell you that Dickerson can be replaced with talent.
Yes.
So,
Look,
what if Fanu comes? If Fanu drops to you?
So mmany things we don't know. That's why when we get to the early, too early power range, early rankings, it's. You say that, but people say the same thing about Carter at 10. No one said he was going to make it to 10, and he did.
Okay. Fanu is the best left tackle in the entire draft. There's no way he's falling to the mid-20s.
And I disagree. I don't think he's the best left tackle. I think he's the second best.
So, but again, no. But I think that pretty much sums up your question.
So Fanu is so now you're thinking about the guy from Miami.
I am thinking about the guy.
Ogo, whatever his name is, but Fanu is the younger guy from Utah. Both Utah tackles are really interesting. Both of them are good. So, but I think Fanu is more of a left tackle. Has more talent and he's 6'6". He's a bigger dude. The other guy is really good too. So either one might fit in the scheme that we're talking about. So I don't think it's really a problem or problematic for the Eagles.
Are they going to be able to grow offensive linemen like they used to? Because what's his name ain't there no more.
It's funny. It's funny we say that.
I'm sure they probably had somebody in place to replace him too.
But. I mean, I do think that's a bigger blow. I'm not gonna lie, because I believe everything starts with coaching and fundamentals. I think that matters more than just purely talent alone. And we've seen how far people can get with just below or just average talent. They can reach the big game at most. However, having said that, the Eagles again have been very spoiled when it comes to the O-line and very spoiled when it comes to coaches for the O-line. So I wouldn't put him past them to find another guy who can be a good replacement. Not saying he'd be as amazing a wow factor as a coach, but again, when you have the talent, as long as you have a good coach with good fundamentals, you will be fine. And
it makes it seem like it's so easy to find a good coach.
Maybe you should take some lessons from the Eagles and maybe your Commanders can do something, I'm just saying. So
that sounds like hate, and that's when you get muted. All right.
I was never hating on the Eagles. I was just pointing out that.
I'm just saying right there. So Sam, why do the Eagles writers say he struggles to throw over the middle with accuracy consistently? When actually he really doesn't. He does have a problem going over 20 yards.
Yes.
Over 20 yards over the middle consistently, but he doesn't really have an accuracy issue.
No.
He reminds me a lot of another Eagles quarterback, Donovan McNabb. And that's why when I look at
high praise, actually.
I think Jalen Hurts is a leader. There's none better, and I think he has enough of an arm, and he has a great running sense. But you have to have the right offensive coordinator. And Donovan McNabb at the beginning of it, because you're so young, you don't remember when he first came out because he came from Dalton. He lived in my area, so this is where I know Donovan McNabb went to Mark Carmel, all that stuff through high school.
Syracuse.
In Syracuse, yeah, exactly. But he had accuracy issues, but not accuracy. He had strength issues, like the power of getting the ball to point A to point B quickly. But he was still an accurate overall quarterback. I feel that that's what you got, Jalen Hurts. I just think Jalen Hurts needs a coach that's going to highlight what he does best.
Yes,
and that's not what we've gotten last year.
No, he needs to be, because there are stats that prove it, and there's also stats that prove the opposite. And I'll talk about both because I'm not biased for Hurts. So the stats that are good for Hurts is this: if you use him to run the ball, phenomenal. You should use him for his legs as well as for passing. When you do a bunch of RPOs, it opens things up, and they didn't do that hardly ever this year.
And play action.
That is their bread and butter. You didn't do
fucking play action the entire year. I couldn't believe it. Like, he's not under center again.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And again, when you don't use RPOs, the bad side is, and this is true, and I hate to say it as an Eagles fan, but it's true. If you have to rely on Hurts, just throw the ball 30, 40, 50 times, and you're not doing the things that he excels in, they lose. They lose their games. And it was proved throughout this year. When you didn't do the things that worked every other year with him under center, that is your problem. So
in prison for what he did. Yeah, I saw it.
Well, you know.
I mean,
there's a lot of guys you can say that in the NFL. I'm just going to let you know that. I don't want to just harp on any one person, but there are a lot of guys in the NFL. I can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think that's bad? I mean, Rashee Rice isn't even getting anything out of it.
All right, let's go away from this Eagles stuff right now. Okay,
go Birds.
F that. Forget you guys. We're done with them right now.
All right, but back to the Super Bowl.
For the Super Bowl, I wanted to say another way that the Patriots lost this game is that they didn't run the ball and stick with the run. And the problem is, it seems like they trust Ramondre Stevenson more than they trust Travion Henderson. I think if they would trust Travion Henderson from the beginning a little bit more and let him eventually his explosive ability, they could have done a lot more. And then use Ramondre towards the end of the game to be that battering ram to start to really hit them when it's getting hard. I think they had a bad game plan in that way. And K9, they had no other choice. They handed the ball to K9, and he eventually just worked on him. He knows what their problem was. They're not getting penetration. I know he waited for the blocks to come through, and he just took off. And he was able to do it because they weren't penetrating. You can do that when one player is getting enough touches. So when you look at K9 getting 27 touches, when the other two guys combine on to get 13, that's a problem.
I agree.
So and you see that, and then once again you see how the Seahawks can actually take over a game because of these things. And I think running the ball and then Sam Darnold play action and off of that, and then having Cooper Kupp, who is good enough to do what he needs to do to get open to help, and the AJ Barn do what he did. It was just a perfect storm, and they played it perfectly.
All I know is it was a perfect storm for us to see our first ever kicker Super Bowl MVP, and they dropped the damn ball on it.
You're not going to do that.
Everyone knows Myers should have been the MVP. He outscored the opponent by himself.
That's true. That is true. That's true. But I would have been very upset if I was K9 or his dad and that happened.
I'm not saying I do believe K9 deserves to be the MVP. I'm just
we're talking about this.
I still feel like this will never get that close to a kicker being the MVP of the Super Bowl ever.
So
that's true.
So we're talking about MVPs, right? Awesome. Cool. Because I think of 3 different names that deserve at least a opportunity at being MVP. And I think you probably just mentioned the kicker, didn't you, Mark?
Yeah, Myers.
And now obviously he should be. He broke an NFL record for crying out loud. But I get why he didn't, and I think the argument's stupid. I
thought like defensive players, but their stats were so spread out.
Because they're all good.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So it was hard to just pull one.
A huge reason why I heard why the kicker didn't deserve it was simply because most of his field goals were, and I air quoting this, were simple and easy to make. If he made 50 or 60 yarders, that would be more impressive and deserving of an MVP.
Wasn't the third one like a 60?
No,
none of
them were.
None were over 50.
Nope. I think the longest was 42, I think, or something like that.
It was like 44 was the longest one.
But you still made them.
Yeah, no.
Wait, understand. So here's my argument, and this is why I want K9.
Sure.
Literally every play, everything that was set up for them to win that game was set up by K9. Everything, all success.
That was my dad's argument. Who got him down there to kick the field goal?
But then in that he misses the field goal, they get no points.
But it was all the yards. And if he would have missed 2, they would have kept the hand on the ball to K9 and said, forget it. We're going to go for a touchdown. If he didn't hit it, they just would have changed tactics. But it's not, you don't hurt K9 for trying to be conservative because you know the other team can't score on you. It was a conservative play call. I don't think that he made or break the game because you could have replaced him with any other kicker and say, okay, they still would have won the game because there's only 13 points. And 7 of those points were throwaway points. It's like literally this game was already won by this. So if you want to argue that defensive player should get it, I have less of a problem. Because I feel like they affected the game in more time than anyone else. But saying that the kicker, nah, bro.
So outside the kicker getting technically 17 points, because 5 field goals and 2 extra points. Outside that, my second player that I have on here is Derek Hall for Seattle with 2 sacks and a forced fumble. And guess what? And they recovered said forced fumble. So to me,
the problem with Derek Hall is they only had 2 tackles.
I know. So again, he was the least likely to me, but also at the same time, getting multiple sacks in a Super Bowl and a forced fumble is still a really good thing to, look at. If I was looking for who should be Super Bowl MVP, but to Mark's comment earlier that you mentioned, a few players did also get multiple sacks
I was like, maybe the guy.
So
the defensive touchdown.
It's harder to give it to him, I think, than the kicker.
Literally all he did.
Yeah, but that's all he did the game because every single position was dominant. It was like a jailbreak. Like, hike. Who's going to get to the quarterback first? That's what it was.
Now. Hey, at least I was right about one thing, even though I guess he was hurt. But Christian Gonzalez shut down Jason.
He did.
So Jason's supposed to have surgery? Is that what they said?
He was hurt, I guess. But
yeah. Well, whatever. And then the last name that I have, I just want to test people's knowledge here. Does anyone know who Michael Dickerson is? Anyone
Know who Dickerson is. Come on.
No, all right. Well, listen, I'm gonna give it up to the punter of the Seattle Seahawks, baby. You did your job better.
All right, so this will be the last time we're letting him in. Even if he came back on right now, he'll be muted. His mic will be muted. He can't talk about nothing. I'll go into the setting and let him not to be able to talk at all. So no.
Oh my! I'm not going that far.
No.
Listen, it's a good argument, though. It's a good argument.
If MVP and punter comes out your mouth, I'm banishing you.
Listen, I won't say the position.
I was letting you know. I got my finger on it. Banish.
Okay.
He has one text to take, and you lose your credentials. Okay.
Listen, all right. My only reason for this player, insert player here, and why he could potentially win a special award at the end of the game.
Oh my God.
All right, this is it. All right, he is going to be gone. He is out. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I'm not going to waste any more time sitting here talking about MVP on a punter. I'm not. I could change all of it, but I'm trying not to. I'm trying to give him a chance. I'm trying my best because I still am the person who has a thing, but I'm trying.
Look. You could take it jokingly if you want, but I am very impressed with the amount of punts he did, and almost all of them being inside the 10-yard line. You can't ask for a better punter to do that, and he's been doing it all season long.
He's not win you MVP of the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying that his name, because he played
better. MVP of your team. Like the team, the coach might give you a game ball for punting pretty doing your damn job. If that's the
better
case,
than anybody else.
If that's the case, am I not giving it to the center who didn't have no fumble and kept on
If
blowing
the
the guy off
final
the line?
score of that
Am I
game
going to
was
have it off
3-0,
to
I'm just saying that
he still would have won the MVP.
You're doing your job. That's all it is. Like when your job is only to kick the ball, I'm never going to give you MVP for doing your job. That's all you did. The long snapper, you know what the long snapper did? Every single time he got the ball was right there. He did his job. He doesn't win MVP.
Man.
He doesn't win MVP. I played high level of football to tell you that that's never going to happen.
What was that?
That'd be a record for punts in the Super Bowl, right?
No. I think he missed. Is tied. I think it's tied.
Yeah. And
tied? Good God.
Mm-hmm. I think it's tied.
Because I think was it the Rams one that had the most punts? I believe.
Yeah. How did you know? You weren't even. No, you were around.
How would I?
It was just like 8 years ago, 6 years ago.
He's only like 5 years old, man. This is knowledge. You know, I am.
See, fucking 5 years
old. I thought it was funny that they were
comparing
comparing the first half to that Super Bowl. Oh, it's the first time since the Rams and Patriots there hasn't been a touchdown in the first half.
I know. Well, yeah, they said the first 3 quarters, and after they said that, touchdown. Literally, like the next.
I know.
Did you guys think that they made the right call for a lot of these choosing to punt to kick field goals, not pushing it?
Yeah, I think it felt more old. It's weird that kicking field goals felt old school. But
RJ, you're gonna have to explain what you disagree with.
Probably you and a punter being MVP.
I don't think it. I mean, I don't think anyone.
Oh, he's disagreeing with you.
Oh. Yes, they do. I have a punter on my team, literally, who did great. Do you think he got one game ball?
I'm just
like, how high of a level do you, when you get to a certain point? I'm just gonna let you guys know. I'm telling you, when you get to a certain point in football, you doing your job is not gonna give you the MVP. I'm just letting you know.
Damn, so that means that the kicker had no shot to win MVP as well, based off of that. Even
I don't think the kicker had a chance either. I honestly, I don't think the kicker had a chance either. And it's because also this is not just a game. This is not just our simplistic place of what we try to think this game is. It's really still about marketing. It's about expansion. It's about all those other things. So it's more than just what you see. Why did an MVP race be so close? Because it's about more than just a game. So, like, if you're looking at this one game trying to think that punts are equal to what those rushings were when he was doing amazing plays, then you're not looking at about it. It's not about the punt. About the punter. Yeah. Got you. But yeah, that's not what the game's all about. Until you understand that in the marketing of the football game, I'm telling you that will never happen. Why are there? I mean, I think it was was it Micah Parsons was on there with who was that? I can't remember the podcast they were just doing, and they were talking about why the quarterbacks always win the MVP. Well, it's not just because
there's been one kicker win MVP. Okay, Mark Mosley, 1980.
I didn't. Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't mute him. No, okay,
he is muted.
No, I know he's muted. I got you.
It was a strike year. But Mark Mosley won MVP in 1983.
Now my question is, with all I just said, if they did not score touchdowns, does that change everything? If no one scored a touchdown this game, then do you think that now does your argument hold a lot of water and you scored all the points and you did everything? If you didn't score a touchdown,
then you suddenly look at kickers and yes, the other position, just because if your defense has them on their own side the whole game, it makes it pretty easy.
Then you also could say you're the defense.
Yeah, no, I mean, but that's the thing.
You're probably right. You probably got
the. I even said it. If the game was 3-0, the punter still wasn't winning MVP.
Well, no, I mean,
because then that means the defense was phenomenal.
Although
that's what it would have been.
Although that is funny because there was one year, not that punter or kicker ever won Super Bowl MVP. That's never happened. But there was one year where I think the loser of a Super Bowl did win MVP because both teams played so bad, offensively speaking and defensively speaking, that they're like, all right, this guy played great. He was the only player who played great the whole game, but he's on the losing team. We should just give it to him. I think that was the only time I think I've ever heard that happening. So,
that's kind of crazy. Okay. I think we should put a pin in the Super Bowl because the Super Bowl is over. The Seattle Seahawks won it, which most people bet.
Did you guys talk about Drake May supposedly not being able to feel his shoulder?
So we didn't talk about how injured he really was. And this was before the game.
Mm-hmm. They shot him up with stuff.
Drake May was hurt.
He said throughout the entire game he couldn't feel his shoulder.
Mm-hmm. And then you make him throw 42 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a pitcher who has like a really messed up elbow, and they say, all right, go out there and pitch for us.
Yep. And then Drake May was running the ball.
And apparently Will Campbell was hurt too.
Well, because he was trying to get arm extensions. And it didn't heal. Will Campbell's a right tackle. He needs to go and set his butt over there at right tackle and be great. He'll be all pro.
I think
he'll be all pro. Everyone says he'd be a great left guard, but I don't think he's heavy enough. If that sound, I don't know if he's heavy enough because a lot of the guards really are overgrown, 340-pound guys with quick feet that really just love to be a battering ram. I don't know if that's what Will Campbell is. I think he has great feet. I think he has good arms, and he will be a great left tackle if his arms were 37 to 38, 39 inches. But at right tackle, he could do the same thing with not having to worry about the premier pass rushers, and he's on the front side. I think that is more his route. But something we'll have to see what the Patriots do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here we go. The next thing I wanted to talk about was power rankings. Way too early power rankings.
Yay.
So I've looked at a couple of sites. I've gone through a couple of sites talking about where the power rankings should be. The one I love the most is Bleacher Report, because I think Bleacher Report actually thinks about what the hell they're talking about instead of just saying whatever the hell they want. And I want to give you their top 10 before we put this ranking out.
Well, I was gonna say, can we just put the Jets and Browns in dead water?
100%. Well,
especially with the Browns,
the Browns are actually okay. But you're right with Schwartz leaving. All right.
Yeah.
You
forgot about that part, didn't you?
You say Schwartz leaving. Yeah.
As soon as Jim Schwartz left, I was like, no, put him dead.
You lost it. Yeah. I tried it. I want a Myles Garrett. The podcast was Myles Garrett. It was Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons. And they were talking about Micah Parsons, about Caleb Williams on that podcast. So I watched it. But all right. Bleacher Report has number 1 Seattle Seahawks. No surprise, right?
Yeah, they just won, so it makes sense.
Number 2,
they just win. They have major salary cap and only a handful of people who are leaving.
And they're young.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, New England Patriots. I don't know if I believe that.
I don't know if I put Patriots too.
No, but they're gonna pay respect to who did well in the playoffs. So
Understood.
Defensively, yeah.
But they have a long way to go offensively. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. They only average
need that O-line and wide receivers
1.3 yards per drive in the postseason.
Again, if Patriots just can work on that O-line and get some wide receivers, I think
someone even went so bad as to take the Browns when they went winless in 2017. They averaged 1.22 yards a drive. So they were worse than the winless Browns in the postseason.
Now,
granted, you can't say they didn't face a gauntlet of great defenses, though.
They did. Exactly. They did. And I also believe the Houston Texans should be kicking themselves because if CJ Stroud maybe cut his dreads a little earlier, maybe he changed his whole mind earlier, maybe they would have been the damn.
He needed the dreadlock powers. He just didn't use them.
He needs to be Samson and he cut he had his power
to
throw interceptions.
Celebrity softball game with Ruby Rose.
No.
Well, apparently, ever since he did that, he hasn't been good.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Everyone says it was a curse.
Okay, 3 was the Rams. I don't think any argument's gonna be there.
No arguments for that.
4 Broncos.
Yeah,
we all know how you think it would have been a better Super Bowl if Bo Nix didn't get hurt.
100%. 100%. And the Browns. The Denver Broncos would have a chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For 5, the Bills. 6, the Jaguars.
That's interesting.
I like it. I like it a lot. 7, my Bears. Let's go.
Interesting.
Number 8, San Francisco.
Not surprised because if they actually can stay healthy one whole season, they could literally be the best team.
They got to figure out. They got to figure out what the hell they doing with receiver, and their defenses can't continue to be this hurt.
Well, if Kittle's any indication, apparently Debo's coming back.
Yeah.
Well,
I was like, are we just swapping receivers? Because Jaden Daniels said Ayuk. Jaden Daniels brought up Ayuk.
I would too if I was Jaden Daniels.
He asked what they needed to do in the offseason, and he said, give me some more weapons. And they're like, do you have anybody in mind? And he was like,
Ayuk.
No, yeah, that would have been awesome. He goes, no, a former teammate of mine when I was in college. And they're like, can you be more specific? And he was like, Ayuk. Like, he literally just straight up said Ayuk.
All right, number 9, the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's still right because they still have a lot of talent.
That actually surprises me, but not for the reasons you think.
10, the Houston Texans. And it says on there the Houston Texans could be as high as 5 if they figure out what the hell's wrong with them offense. And they're another team that needs to get their offensive line together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually kind of glad to hear that the Packers were not listed in top 10.
Packers are 11.
Okay. That was going to be one thing that I was going to talk about and be like, nah, they shouldn't be top 10.
Yeah, so Packers are 11, Chargers are 12, and Detroit Lions are 13. So just kind of.
Man, they just. Okay.
Okay. So I want to give you guys a baseline before we start doing this. That's all.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you guys, realistic contenders off the bat, who do you want to put in that realistic contenders?
Well, I'll start with Seahawks.
I think Seahawks for sure can be there. I think the 49ers can also be there. As long as they can be healthy. I
don't know the 49ers are there. I'm not ready to say 49ers yet, especially because of how much people you have.
Yeah, I'm not going to put realistic contender just yet. The offseason could definitely change that.
Yeah.
But as of right now, no.
Am I okay to say the Rams?
Absolutely.
I think Rams are safe since Stafford says he's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's fair to say.
Can I tell you that I'm going to put the Bills there?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
I put the Broncos there before I put the Bills.
Well,
even with not knowing what's going to happen at running back.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the quarterback.
No, I mean he's ready to go now.
I think.
Would you be surprised if all of a sudden Kansas City comes back and the Broncos aren't there?
See,
no,
Kansas City
I'm just saying as of right now, though, I think with that defense,
that's all good points. Okay.
I think RJ Harvey will have another year, full year under his belt. I think he'll be better.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they'll be good. I think they'll be up there.
Okay, well, I'll put them at very good, knowing that we have to talk about everything realistic. Because I think
we're not going to throw any AFC team in as a realistic contender. Then
I think we should have a couple more. Mm-hmm.
The Broncos don't get there. Who else think there's.
I'm just putting them right here at the very good right now. Because I think they should be there. I think the Texans should be up there. I think both of them should be in the realistic contenders. My point, but that's.
I mean, there's like 5 or 6.
I can't trust the Texans' offense enough to put them in realistic contenders.
But we have to look also at what's going to come up in the future. If we're just going off of last year alone, then we're going to say several teams, like my Eagles, for example, they might be very good or maybe on the fringe because of how their offense played. And you'll say the same thing about, these other teams. Like, the Texans, look how dreadful they played in the playoffs on offense. But they have a great defense.
They literally could. They win that game. They win that game. They could be in the Super Bowl right now.
That's why when we make these lists, it's always hard for me because I always look at it as I'm looking at the future. I'm looking at the rosters. I'm not solely looking at.
You can't base a rating on a what if though.
This is today.
So this is just today, as of right now. That's why it's called the way too early.
I'm putting these 3.
That's why it's called the way too early power rankings. You're just going off of what you know, and you're going to rate the teams. You have to overanalyze everything.
We haven't said the Patriots yet.
Because the Patriots to me are I think at best are a 8th best team. That's what I truly think where they're at right now.
I can't put them past very good, and that's only because their defense is that good.
Well, yeah. Well, again, their defense is very good.
They're in
I
the
think
same
their
boat as the
offense
Texans in my mind.
I think their offense just literally needs a really just decent enough O line and then a couple wide receivers.
So
And
that's a lot
gonna
to get in the off season.
Yeah,
No,
that is a lot to
no,
get
I
in
know.
one offseason.
To me,
All they need
I
is
think
this.
I think that the Patriots within the next 2 years could be in that very good or realistic contenders. But as it is right now, they're not going to have the same type
I also
of
put
schedule
them in
they did
very
last
good
year.
based off of. I mean, they got to the Super Bowl. If Drake May was 100%, the game might.
They did.
No, it wouldn't be any different.
I said a little different. I would say a big difference. Okay,
that offensive line was just not good enough. All right, I will argue that the Patriots should be in the fringe and that the Jaguars should be very good. That's just my.
I would put the Jaguars in very good,
especially if that defense plays anything like it did last year.
Oh, you can put the Raiders in dead in the water too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
sure, why not?
Or maybe very little chance of improving.
Yeah, I think they improve, and that's why I think I'm going to go with the Raiders.
God, why do we have the old school Chargers helmet down there?
Why not? Okay,
that's the one that they should be going back to.
Yes, they actually did good back then.
All right. Hard teams are going to be, I would say, where are the Bills?
I think Bills are very good, but I don't think they're realistic contenders, at least not yet. Okay. They did not fix their issues that they needed to fix in offseason going into this season. So for that reason, I just can't put them anywhere.
They'll match in the fact that they fired McDermott for no real good reason.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
you don't know what the hell is going to be,
but
who they are.
And the players weren't happy with it, so you don't even know what the mind frame is of the players.
Here's
is there another team that you think it could be a realistic contender right now?
Josh Allen can be able to play football on very little sleep.
Realistic contender.
You have a newborn, so.
I think another AFC team needs to be up there, guys.
It does, but
I'm not going to put the Chiefs up there because they still have to worry about their cap hell. They still have to worry about a lot of things.
They're on the fringe. And I'm willing to just tell you right now, this is where I want them.
That's where I would put them too.
Because they can be that team.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I said with the other teams too. It's like, oh, this is where I think they are now, but like once the off season starts, they can
Texans are
move to pop them all the way to the top. You know.
I mean, you can Texans, but I think you're right. We don't know at quarterback, so it's hard calling someone a realistic contender yet. Actually, I think the Jaguars. I was
actually just gonna say, will we put the Jaguars up there? Because I feel like they have money. They're not going to have
only 1 year, and that's what's so hard about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but sometimes you can build off that, you know. I mean, not all the time, obviously. Look at my team, but
and there's a team that I want to talk about that I think had a bad year that I think next year will do very good. I don't think they're going to make the Super Bowl, but I think that they're going to do very good.
Who?
I'll say it now. I don't care. The Dallas Cowboys, a rival team. I can see it. I can very well see them being a very good team because their offense.
They're always on the fringe. So Dallas is every year they come in, they're on the fringe.
And look, I may be an Eagles fan, but I can't deny if they just figure out their defense and their offense stays as like a top 10 offense, which I think it can easily do. That's a playoff team.
Out their defense.
No, look, come on, Mark. I mean, we saw how they looked this year. If it wasn't for that worst defense in the league, they would be an easy playoff team, no doubt, without any question. We can't sit here and just say, oh, well, because they missed the playoffs, they're just, a mid-level team. We can't.
I just think it's funny that you're like, if they just figure out their defense. They had their defense figured out.
Yeah, that's a big part.
They had it figured out, and they decided, I don't want to pay it. Yes. So goodbye. And let them leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I can see them being very good next season just because their offense will be still great. I think they'll figure out their defense, and they will be good. They're not going to make the Super Bowl because they're the Cowboys.
Well, speaking of having new defensive coordinators, that they will also have one.
Yeah, so that's hard for me to put the Cowboys there.
I can't.
They're on the fringe. Yeah, it's the worst thing ever, but they could jump teams. San Francisco. Are they very good?
Yes.
Or are they on the fringe?
Very good.
No, they are very good. There's no question about it. What they did,
they were very good with their third stringers. So
yeah, like So no, again, I personally have them as a contender if they stay healthy. That's personally me. You guys may disagree.
So you want to put that whole AFC West in the contenders, right?
You know, it's kind of
let's throw all the AFC West in there.
Not the Cardinals. That's
they
for sure.
can't though, but you can't.
AFC
just
West
because
or NFC West?
NFC. I'm sorry, NFC.
Yeah,
NFC.
NFC.
NFC West.
Like
but it's like you're throwing all these same teams that are in the same division. You can't. How can they all be contenders? I don't think that works. Personally,
That's a fair argument,
and you have to think about. Yeah, I agree that they're good. I also wouldn't be surprised they took a step back. I think they're on the time. Their left tackle is going to be gone. Williams can't continue to be the best left tackle in the game. He's not going to be able to play forever. So that's going to be happening. You know, George Kittle's not going to be there. You know, there's issues that they have. Christian McCaffrey has never had two great years in a row.
Of course you would say that, RJ. Of course that. And look, I'm an Eagles fan. It's painful for me to say that, but I just see it, what they can do. And they have.
I feel like you say that. We say that every year. Like you can ask. I've been doing this with Brian and Martin, and every year they tell me how good the Cowboys are going to be, and every year I have to be like, "But are they?" And every year they finish 7-10.
Let's not forget that. Let's not forget they also have 2 first-round picks. Also, they also have 2 first-round
and I'm
picks.
sure Jerry Jones will find a great way to mess that up.
Look, I hope he does. You don't understand? I hope he does. I'm just being realistic here. If he doesn't, they will actually have a legitimate, not to make the Super Bowl, but to be a legitimate playoff team.
All right, to keep this going a little bit faster for me, sure. We're gonna go for the Eagles.
Sure. I think for now, even though I could make an argument because of that defense being a realistic contender, I think very good is where we should put them based off of the season, because we know that their offense is not going to be the same as last year. Literally, it seems to be that every year that the Eagles have a bad offense, the following year that offense skyrockets from near worst to one of the best. It's happened twice now.
Can't say any team who's replacing their offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator should be
what we know about your offensive line.
Except for we didn't replace our DC. He's still around. Vic didn't retire
right now, but there's no guarantee.
He's not going to retire. He's not going to.
We have too many. I think there's too many question marks, and I will put them on the fringe. And it's not, but it's not a fringe like they're bad. A fringe as in, once again, they could go very good. They could go up to. I think they're the lowest they could go is mid level. I think that's but right now I can't say that they're on the same level as everyone else in that tier, excluding the Patriots, because I do believe the Eagles are better than the Patriots. But that's it.
And yet the Patriots are in the very good.
I will argue that they should be in the fringe. But that's not me. I still feel that same way. I think let's do the Chicago Bears.
Okay, we're just gonna go out. All right. Where do you guys think? They could be very good, or
they could be here, or they could be here,
or fringe.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those two, truthfully.
Because apparently have a trade package all ready to go.
Yes, they do for Max.
2 firsts, a third, and a fourth.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have a hard time believing in any team.
I swear, if that ends up happening, I'm gonna have to put you.
No, finish what you're saying, Alec. What'd you say?
My biggest concern, and this mostly goes for teams that are new, like Jaguars and the Bears, more so the Bears than Jags. The Jags
have been up and down. They've been there before.
So to me, with the Bears, it's hard for me to gauge after one season, what are we going to get the following season, kind of thing, because it's been so long since they've had that steady success when we've been expecting them to explode to have that success. And now that they finally have, are they going to keep it? That's why I'm almost hesitant to just put them in the fringe.
Make the adjustments
because there's a lot of arguments that Brian has made himself about Caleb Williams, about his issues that he still has. And I think, the
best balls and one of the worst balls.
It's exactly. To me, I just see him more as, or I see the team more as a fringe. But they could be very good.
I think the Bears are better than San Francisco, but San Francisco has more consistency. They've been doing this a lot longer. I think the Bears are a better team than San Francisco is. But the consistency is where. So I have no problem putting the Bears here or here.
Keep in mind.
I understand.
I'm telling you right now, if we go to do the rankings again, like bring this up and move after certain things have happened, if you do get Crosby, I'm like contender right now.
Oh, if we get Crosby, we're here.
That's what I said. That's where I'm moving right now.
There's no question.
If you get Max Crosby,
we're here. There's no question. So
I
This is the most obnoxious segment ever. It's time to do maximum and minimum.
My only good
Every
argument
week,
as
max,
to why
max,
they should be
max.
my only good argument as to why they should be very good is because just like the Eagles, they are now putting together great teams with drafts. So with that in mind, that's what makes both the Bears and the Eagles very similar in that regard, because they both do well in the drafts. We can sit here and say, oh, well, you know, how
we are
turned out.
very similar in a lot of ways, and that's why I don't ish on you guys.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like they both go hand in hand with that. But that's my only argument as to why I think, truthfully, both could be very good, especially the Bears.
I think we're a little bit better than you guys, but I also think that you guys can't hit your peak. That's what pisses me off about the Eagles, because if you just never hit your peak, you're not what you're supposed to get. Because when you look at from position to position, I agree that the Eagles should be very good, but I saw the end of the season, and it's just today. And if they have a great draft, all of a sudden I think I have no problem putting the Eagles right. I'm just saying I would.
It's fine. It's fine. If that's fine. All right.
Okay. Then let's shit on Washington.
All right. Not good. Next question.
I want to put mid level. I think they're mid level.
I don't think so. I think they're not.
We weren't bad. We just had injuries.
No, listen, y'all had one good season and then y'all fell out completely. You went for NFC title, you reached your peak, and then you went back down. That's why
it's not because we sucked. It's because we had injuries.
Okay, and then the Cowboys can make the same argument, but yet they still look better on paper.
What injuries did the Cowboys have besides CeeDee Lamb going out for a couple games?
It was like 4 games.
They're like secondary.
Then their defensive tackle.
Even with their secondary in there, they weren't good. Does it matter?
Look, also, the fact that your team, I think, from a top
Let me
down.
see you go out there with your third string quarterback and your third string receivers.
Okay, here's
how many games you win.
This is about what we have right now. This is not about what they're going to do going forward.
That's what I'm saying. So I think right now we're getting our people healthy. Good. We're at least mid. I'm not saying we're on the fringe or we're good. But
here's Here's the best argument why they're not good. The way that they treated Jane Daniels when he wasn't fully healthy and they got him hurt, and they should have pulled him in that game when they were down by so much, tells you that from a top up to down, their ideology.
Okay. I'm gonna do this. Let's talk about who's mid-level.
Sure, that's better.
And then we look at Washington and say, should they be on that level? Because I am a higher person on Washington, because even last year I said they should be winning. Even though Mark shits on my team, I always big up his team because I feel like he has all the ingredients.
Team, but
yes, you do. He hasn't picked my team. Yes, you. It was terrible all year.
I said I don't pick your team, but I don't actively shit on them. I told you I thought your team was good.
It's hard for me not to put them in level, but I want to see the way that everything else works out. Okay, so Cardinals. Where do Cardinals go?
No, they very. I mean, it's you're not good or very low chance of improving, but
I think they have chance to improve.
Yeah, but see, and that's where I agree with you. I almost want to make like another category that says we'll improve some, but not enough to be a good team. Because that's what I think will happen. But yeah, not good. I'm fine with.
Okay.
How about the Falcons? I think you can make.
I mean, the Cardinals were 2-0 and they finished 3-14. Just on that.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, I think that the Falcons could be mid-level. I mean, they have the pieces. They just needed the coaching. Truthfully.
Okay. What about you, Mark?
You said mid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or fringe. I'll put him in mid.
Yeah, he said mid-level, not fringe.
Yeah, I'll definitely put him in mid.
Yeah.
All right. What about the Baltimore Ravens?
Fringe.
You say fringe? You know what? Sure, why not?
Well, they were another team that I feel like it was injured. Like Lamar Jackson wasn't 100%. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm at French too with them.
And then their defense was good.
They were terrible, and then all of a sudden they became good again.
And then they just hired John Harbaugh Jr. as their coach. So,
but that's what makes me put them in French. I don't know what the hell they're going to be. Yeah, losing a Harbaugh could really set them back. And if they come back to the mid-level in the whole division as a mid-level team, which is totally possible, everyone in that division can be mid-level. So I can see either way. All right, Panthers.
Sorry, Panther fans. I'm gonna put you mid-level.
Which one?
Mid.
Mid-level.
Okay. The Bengals.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, now that's a trick one because it all depends on if they actually are going to improve their defense and if Joe Burrow is healthy. That's really what it comes.
You don't even want to play for that team.
I know. I think at best they're mid-level. At worst, they're like a not good.
They're right.
I was gonna say right now they're at mid. If they trade for JJ McCarthy, they're at very little chance of improvement.
Yes. Well, with their ownership, they probably have very little chance of improving.
Can I do this, guys? I feel like we should do this. It's because coaching change.
That's fine.
And we can revisit this afterwards. I just kind of want to go a little quicker. Sure. Lions.
Fringe.
I think
Can you be
Fringe is
anything
easy.
but Fringe? Fuck these people.
Fringe.
They are
dead in water.
Nope. They are always fringe.
No, they're fringe.
I know. I hate them so much, but they are so. Oh, I hate them.
What is it? 3 years in a row being the 7th seed? That's crazy.
It's going to be 4 years probably, most likely with this team.
The Colts. Mid.
Mid.
I definitely believe mid. They are a perfect example of a mid team.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is going on in Miami?
Probably very little chance of improving.
I think you think it's very little. I think it's not good.
I think not good. There's pieces there.
That could go up. Could be better.
I say not good.
Okay.
I say very low, but it's fine.
Vikings.
See, this is a hard one for me because I want to say not good, but I feel like that defense is amazing.
But the defense is not amazing.
No,
it's not amazing. I feel like they coach really well, but then you could play on them. You can score on them. They have a very little chance of winning games, and that's why I put them at not good.
Okay, that's fine.
But with all that being said, if Mac and Cheese goes to Minnesota, I think that changes everything.
And now you're hearing Mac and Cheese to Minnesota?
I just heard that first of all, that San Francisco doesn't want to lose him at all, but he wants to be a starting quarterback.
They would want to.
But he wants to be a starting quarterback, and they would be willing to do something for the right pick. So I think this has everything to do with compensation. So if you want, Mac, Mac Jones, you're probably going to have to give up a third rounder. So I think for a third rounder, I think he's worth it. I'll consider a late second rounder, 2027 second rounder. So.
I do think that they're mid, but that's just
okay. All I gotta say is if Mac and Cheese leaves San Francisco, goes to Minnesota, whatever team he goes to next is going to win the Super Bowl.
That's the way it goes with his.
Why not?
Once you work with Kyle Shanahan and O'Connell, you're like the best QB ever. So
where do we put the Saints?
See, I think a lot of people would say very low chance of improving, but I think all they can do is just improve from here
because it's so bad.
They still have one more year of cap issue though.
Of course, but
after this year, Derek Carr, if somebody comes off the books and they have lots of
so
I think they're very little chance of winning this year, but I think they found a quarterback.
Yeah,
I think Shuck is that dude. I think he can chuck the ball around. So
Shuck,
the Giants.
I'm gonna say not good, but I think they could easily next season be a mid-level team just because of all the right moves that they've been making. So
I love John Harbaugh there.
Yeah,
I love John Harbaugh being there. I know you guys should not like it because that's worrisome.
Yeah, I just think that it will take at least another season before the Giants can actually go back to that mid 2000s kind of Giants. So not good for now, mid-tier at best. And if they were a fringe playoff team next year, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, but also I can see the Giants. I think the Colts are better than the Giants. I think the Bengals are better than the Giants.
Oh,
I think the Carolina Panthers are better than the Giants. When I'm looking at this, everyone on that level is better than the Giants. So I can't put them above that.
I just know that there's always at least one team that previous year wins like 3 or 4 games, and the next year they go to the playoffs. So if there was any team, I'd randomly pick them. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. Steelers.
Man, they traded
the definition of mid.
I was gonna say that's exactly what was in my head. I was like, they have to be mid. They're the utter definition of mid.
They lose Tomlin and then hire.
They lose Mike, whose last Super Bowl was in 2011.
Yeah,
to hire Mike, whose last Super Bowl was in 2011.
I know.
But at least Tomlin, people like him.
Yeah. So,
People would say Tomlin's a Hall of Fame coach.
That's true.
Chargers.
Fridge.
Mid or fringe.
I think you have to put him in fringe because they play in
You
the
actually
playoffs.
get an offensive line in front of him.
Oh my god,
it could be crazy. Plus, he has
like
Mike McDonald.
Exactly, with Mike McDonald going and Hampton being there a whole year with Mike McDonald.
The two what ifs. Oh, what if he actually had an offense? Oh, what if he actually had a quarterback? Well, we'll find out.
Now you need is just that O line. Hard to do in one off season, but
they had two awesome offensive linemen.
You said you could do yours. Yeah,
I'm just quoting you guys. That's all. I'm just quoting.
They have two amazing offensive linemen. They just got to stay healthy. They got Joe Alt and Slater.
Where the Bucks?
Fringe. They could be a very good team if they just figure it out, but
right
they
now,
have an amazing roster. Like
all right, dead in the water for this last one. I
was gonna say not good.
I think
I like very low chance being paired with Ward, but
I mean, you're talking about the worst offense in the league.
I say not good. I think they can improve because I think Dayball wanted Ward in the draft. The Giants actually offered a huge haul,
but
the first overall pick.
But are we really saying that the team that has the number one overall pick is not dead in the water?
I think it's very
number one overall pick.
They have the number.
Raiders do.
Oh, sorry, the number 2. Excuse me.
They don't have the number 2 pick.
They have number 3, right?
I thought they had 3.
I think they have the number 3 pick. I think.
Either way, to me, whenever a team's
Cardinals have
worst offensively,
they have. No, they might be number 2.
Because they did not win a lot of games. So that's
and they had the worst offensively, which to me is more of a telltale sign.
They got Brian Daboll with a quarterback that he wants, I guess.
Sure, still need a lot of help, but yeah.
Yeah, no, all those are right.
But no, that's just what I think.
Okay.
But if you both think very little chance of improving, then
yeah, I'm okay with very little chance. I think they are going to improve. I just don't think they're going to improve enough for it to matter. But I think they're a 3-year project. 3 years, we're going to be looking at Tennessee and saying if they hit with Ward.
Have you seen the pictures from every one of the coaching staff of the Titans?
No.
A lot of them are bald. Saleh, Dayball, their special teams coach.
That kind of makes sense. All right, guys.
Almost like I'm sensing a trend here.
With this picture, guys, is there anyone you want to move? You each get one team to argue that you want to move, but you need 2/3 votes to move them.
I don't feel like arguing anymore.
Wow. Typical commander. Give up before you try. I'm sure before you try. Any teams?
You were actively shitting on my team, and I was just pointing out facts about yours.
Facts. Yeah, well, you know.
So they're like, "Oh, you took a step back," and blah blah blah. I'm like, "Yeah,
no, it was a huge step back." What you mean? I just don't like how your team, runs things. That's more of what I don't like. I think there's certain players that I love, like Jane Daniels. I hate how you guys used him, and that's why I can't say you're good.
Because I'm sure it was Dan Quinn who made these decisions.
And y'all also fired.
And I'm sure they asked Jaden, "Do you want to go back in?" And he was like, probably knowing him, he was like, "Yeah, I do."
Yeah, but you also gotta think of your future, And again, that's what I don't.
Do you think we care about the future of our quarterbacks? Come on now.
Exactly. That's why I say they're not good. Come on.
Well, that's how we thought we had a franchise.
Thank you for proving my point.
We ran him into the ground in 2 years.
But
my only argument, guys, is I think Carolina's a lot better than you guys. That's my only argument. Is I think Carolina's a lot better.
I think Carolina is the definition of also a mid team that could also be a playoff team, just because their defense has actually it's not a bad defense, and it hasn't been bad for years. It's that offense.
Here's my argument: is what I think Carolina's better than Dallas, and I think that Dallas should be in mid level.
That's okay.
You see what this? I think Carolina's better than Dallas. Like when you go through it, you take a team, you will move a team up.
I want Dallas
are you better
from the beginning? But
are you better than any other of these other teams? I'll say no, maybe yes. So that to me, that means that Dallas should be in this mid level.
That's what I said. But you had the called Eagles fan over here talking nothing but good stuff about him.
I think, but no, he made good points. It's not. I don't want to come and say that he didn't make good points. I think he made good points.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
like,
I think if I'm doing this fairly, I think they're on the same tier.
So then let's see, and I don't agree with it purely just because I think the Panthers again are a good mid team that can make it to the playoffs, but they clearly can't do anything past that. And again, this is the first year that they made the playoffs since when? I don't remember last time they were in the playoffs. Was last time when they went to the Super Bowl? Was that the last time? I don't remember. So someone
probably Cam.
Because Cam would have been cute. So to me, I can't put them on the same level until they show me they can do it consistently.
I will tell you this: well, Dallas have never done it. So they haven't won. Dallas
has been consistently at the beginning of the season. How good they're going to be,
is what I'm saying.
They don't even finish 500.
So I'm going to tell you for Bleacher Report, I'm going to read you guys really quick. 14 through 20.
Sure.
Because I already told you the Detroit Lions 13.
We only did 1 through 10. We didn't.
Yeah, but
I told you.
12, 13.
I said go. I said Green Bay, right? I talked about Green Bay, and then 12 was Los Angeles Chargers, and then I said the Lions. Yeah, and then but 14 they have Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. 15
they have Pittsburgh Steelers. 16 Baltimore Ravens. 17 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
Because they say that there's a lot of injuries on there, and Baker Mayfield might have a problem with that shoulder.
Okay.
Next year. 18 the Dallas Cowboys. So they have Dallas 4 teams lower than the Carolina Panthers. Okay. I'm not arguing that they're 4 teams better than them. I'm arguing that Carolina's better than Dallas. That's my only argument.
Right. I guess I don't personally agree with it. But I guess it's up to you, Mark, because he needs 2/3. So
2/3. So for it to happen, you have to agree with it, period.
Well, that's why I said they should be to begin with. And you guys said no. So
I can actually say we're being very nice to Kansas City because we're assuming Kansas City is going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. We could very well say mid-level with them.
We can say very mid. I agree. And to a point where that was my next question. What if I did that?
But didn't you also say that you don't think the Panthers are better than them?
I don't think the Panthers are better than them. That's why I think they're the top level of mid-level. But then again, I think Kansas City is better than the Bucks.
I put Kansas City there.
You know, and then I could say the Bucks are the same as Carolina.
The only difference is that Bucks.
Let's be fair.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it where if you just have a healthy Patrick Mahomes, it doesn't matter who else is on the team; they're going to be fringe.
Exactly.
So,
well, then we've also seen the reverse side where, well, not the reverse side, but where it's just him on the offense and Travis Kelce, and they still make it to the Super Bowl. We've also seen that too. So
that's what I was saying.
It's hard not to put them at least at fringe.
That's why I feel like they deserve to be on the fringe.
That team should always be on fringe.
Like, and now they got BNB back, and apparently they're very excited about it. So.
Exactly, because you don't have to worry about Matt Nagy calling them.
I know. They're like, Matt Nagy, you.
But if we're going just off of not what we think will be like in the future after the draft, we're going off purely what this year brought us and the current news we have, then from that objective standpoint, then I think
it's still Patrick Mahomes and being the best quarterback in the league, and that's where why they stay on fringe. But with that being said, you can say that once again, if you're just going off of what happened this year, Carolina should be up higher than the Bucks.
Then if we're going off of just this year, then that means KC should be down lower and Panthers should be up. Then that's if we're going purely off of this year, then we have to not be biased.
No, I'm pretty sure Kansas City and Carolina had the same record. Carolina made the playoffs with an 8-9 record.
I know, and they only got there not by their own accord. They
lost their last game too.
Yeah, so
I know.
They're right.
So,
He's right.
They have the same record. Thank you.
But here is where, and this is where I want to do this, and you guys are going to hate me on this. Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL.
Yeah,
I know.
So
he didn't even play in the last.
So no, that's fine. I'm fine with mid-level because of that. I'm fine with it.
But we all understand if Patrick Mahomes comes back that he could be a realistic contender. right?
Yeah, but he won't come back until what? Most likely, probably after September, right?
They're
Or maybe
saying Patrick Mahomes will probably start.
because he could, I guess, technically come back in September. That
He
would be
he
long
will
enough.
start the season
I was
playing.
just say he could come back September, but will he be 100%? That's going to be the true question. Because
So
I don't think
let's
so.
just do that then. Does that balance it out? You guys think that balances out? Is there anyone else you want to move in any other direction?
Well, if you're going to base it off of this year, you should put the Vikings in front of me because they whipped my ass.
That's true.
And I
Mark,
think Minnesota is the best of this level right here.
Yeah, I mean,
if
any
that's to be
argument.
fair, we could say that these two teams need to be next to each other all the time. Just
I just think that the NFC South will have a different leader than the Bucs or the Panthers. I could really see the Falcons doing something next year. I mean, I'm not saying that they're gonna do anything in the playoffs, but they could be one of those teams that will win 9 games and win their division because
they're all on the same level, right? Except for the Panthers, who won.
The hardest one on this entire thing for me is the Colts.
Let's do this. Then what you're saying is this is better. Is that what you're saying, Alex?
I'm saying it would be better because the NFC South is just so like any of those 3 teams could very realistically win their division. I mean,
same thing with any of these 3 teams. So you're basically saying they're all the same. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this.
Colts are difficult for me because the first 10 weeks or the first 10 games, they were 8-2.
If Daniel Jones never gets hurt,
that's what I'm saying. If Daniel Jones never gets hurt, there's no telling how good that team could be. I
mean, I have no problem putting the Colts here already with the idea of going here, but not now.
Not only that, they brought in Sauce Gardner. Granted, he also
full year with Sauce Gardner.
Full year with Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, no. Okay. I'm okay with leaving it just like this for now.
The only thing that I can make an argument for, and it won't be for the Eagles because I know how that will go. It's more so I think the Packers, because of their, I don't know how they keep getting the playoffs, because 1 minute they're a great team, next minute they're a bad team. It goes either way. I think the Packers could be right next to the Eagles on the fringe, I think.
But I think the Lions, is it hard for me to say the Lions? Are you sure the Packers are better than the Lions?
Okay, you could do that by moving the Lions in front of the Eagles. And then the Eagles and Packers.
But that doesn't work because who made the playoffs? We're going off of just this year. Otherwise, I'd make a whole different argument for several.
They only made the playoffs over the Lions.
The Lions and the Green Bay Packers had the same record. The Packers and Lions had like the same record.
The only reason they made it was because they had a tie game.
They had the tie game.
Take away ties. Come on now.
Yeah, that's the only difference. That's why I don't mind leaving it just like I think Lions. So Lions need a year. Detroit needed a year to figure out this offensive coordinator stuff. They still really haven't, but I think they need a year to figure out. They lost their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator, and they need a year to kind of recover. That team's still really.
They lost their offensive coordinator again.
Yeah,
and they bring in the Cardinals offensive coordinator.
Yeah, so I mean, again, I think the Packers because they at least proved that they can at least make the playoffs. However,
they had the same record basically,
but they still made it though. That's the thing. That's what we're going off of.
It was 9-7-1, and the other one was 9-8.
That's like saying the Panthers should be better than the Lions because they made the playoffs. You see how stupid that argument sounds?
I'm going to.
The Packers are.
You're not going to get. You're not going to get 2/3. You're not going to get 2/3 of that because I think the Lions are better than the Packers. And that's my division, so I'm not going to.
I know you're not. I
said if he wants the Eagles next to the Packers so bad, move the Lions in front of the Eagles.
Yeah, no,
which I don't want to do that either. I think the Eagles are right on the edge of being. If they figure out the offensive line time problem, they're very good immediately.
I think
if they have you're not wrong, but because of everything that's going on, I wouldn't be shocked if they went backwards too.
I also can just see them being just very good just in general, but that's just because of the talent they have and they just need the right thing. That's why I'm skeptical about the OC. I mean, luckily he was the Packers QB coach, so that will be fun to see if they actually unlaunch Hurts, but I'm not going to make an argument for it right now because I'd rather make that argument later.
He was awful. I cannot believe he's offensive coordinator again.
The enemy OC of the Lions. He's already
OC of Kansas City. So
yeah, he went back. Of course he did. I've
the
heard
Bears running back
like good
coach.
praise from the QB coach, at least from Packer fans. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, there were some coaching hires that made me scratch my head, like Hackett to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
What the hell are the Cardinals doing?
Nagy. I was like,
Very low chance.
what was the other bad one? There was like 3 of them. Can't remember the third one.
Well, I'm going to save this, guys.
Sure.
And I'm going to say that this is where we were at the end. This is February 11th. All right. February 11th, this is where we did. And there's a lot to be desired. And there's going to be a lot going wrong with this. He says, I know, but I'm saying, what if? If Airbnb was OC Alliance, that would be a problem. No, that would be a problem for the rest of the division. I honestly believe that.
That would be great if he did, but can't do that. So we play what ifs all day, though.
I agree. I agree.
What if Vic Fangio retired and then we got Jim Schwartz?
That would be better for you.
I know, right? It would be great.
I think you have to trade. They're going to trade for him, but you're going to trade for him, and that's what's
third or fourth.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's worth it. You kidding me? That's fine.
I don't disagree with you. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So next thing we're going to talk about is Gridiron Heights.
Let's go.
The campaign.
Nope, not too early.
Friendship.
Not that one.
And once you start it off, we'll put us up here.
With the man, Sam.
He did it. Pick off the comments.
3 and out burst.
That's really
this is great. Let me see if I can full screen this.
That bottom one says it is way too blurry.
Guess who ruined your parlay? Guess who ruined your parlay?
We ruined our own parlays. I don't think we got half of what we bet.
It says Indianapolis Jones.
Oh, I get it. Because it's all movies. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Here, let's get play.
So I won the campaign through the power of friendship, and one day you could too, if you believe.
I believe.
I believe.
That's how it's ending, Sam Darnold.
I didn't like that, so there must be a secret real finale.
Gridiron Heights Gate has unsatisfied viewers convinced that there's a secret finale coming.
Okay, so if you look closely at the first word of all of the Easter eggs, they spell out Finu Gornad.
Some viewers are even making their own fan fiction on how the season should have ended.
Was it the Bills' year? Try Bills' century. This is canon now.
The results are in. It's official. I'm good.
This continues to be a desirable place to work.
Packers, why are you like this? I hate you so much that I pretty much never stop thinking about you.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Well, you have all guessed it. We've been hiding a secret finale. There is no off-season anymore. Here's more football.
After a meltdown at the Santa Clara substation, Gridiron Heights was up for grabs.
Does Cam have the scataboo? Ah!
Let's kill a bunch of characters off.
No. Must monetize a farewell season.
And introducing hot new character, Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, hey. Be sure to add me on LinkedIn.
Isn't he badass?
Don't love that word. Haha.
More drama and more seasons. You will come back next year.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh. Don't you see? It's always been you.
Drake, you came! But I thought Will Campbell's short arms nearly got you killed, and you were exposed on national television as a schedule merchant!
No, that never happened. Now let's be together forever.
NFL record missed.
Oh, that is good. I love it. Oh, man, that was phenomenal.
Woo!
And you know what? For me, because I'm a movies fan and I do all the movie shows and stuff, that hit because of all the Stranger Things people saying, "Oh, that's not the finale. I don't like it."
Yeah,
so,
they're talking about they were messing with Stranger Things. I was like, that sounds like everything I'm gonna hear about Stranger Things.
It's exactly what they're doing. So I thought that was smart, And I think we're not going to see anything else out of Gridiron Heights for a good 3 months. So the league year is coming around the first week of May or second week of May right now. March. Sorry, second week in March. So till then, I don't think we're gonna hear anything. So they get a full month off. And then all of a sudden, trades are going to start going. Free agency is going to start doing some stuff. Man, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So they put Will Campbell in this pro guy. He got exposed. Yeah, well, Will Campbell is just not a left tackle. It's not that he's a problem. He's not bad. Poor guy, he got exposed. He's not bad. He's just not a left tackle. And that you're in the Super Bowl going against a team that made it to the Super Bowl. So
this is true.
Just jokes on you. It is what it is. I mean, you go be a Pro Bowler somewhere else. I mean, at another position.
Rams got to be like, dang, we were like one play away from winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they were.
That's what happens, you know? And that's actually a very Ram thing to happen, by the way. It's happened multiple seasons in a row. Oh, yeah, we were so close to winning, just one play away. I don't know what it's about the Rams, but they just lose sight of it always at the very last second.
I think so too. You know? Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about this season, the end of this season? Anything you want to say about this?
Hey, script writers, you did a phenomenal job. I hope that you earn your bonuses. Yeah, that's about it. Screw you.
Took him off, and he was still here.
You were moving. As soon as I moved, you started moving. All right. Anything you got about this season left, Mark?
I'm ready for the next one. So I can be bitterly disappointed yet again.
Yeah. I only have one last thing to say. And it's not related to the season, but the results are in, and your boy is definitely a top commissioner in FFU rankings. You know, I am one of the top, if not the top guy. I just saw their video and they said that I am deserving of said award. So you're looking at a commissioner who's basically 1A and 1B, essentially, is how they put it. For commissioner of the
for
year.
Martin too. I don't understand how you got.
I know, right?
Should have done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate the NFL. Walker scored that touchdown at the end of the game.
Well, the offensive lineman should have held.
Oh yeah, right. You know, if that would have counted, like easy.
Think of like almost 3 quarters going by without a penalty.
Yeah, and then the fourth quarter, it was all penalties all over the place.
It was almost like the refs were like, "Oh wait, we're not really doing our job."
Say we're part of the Super Bowl too.
Yeah, let us get some action in.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, we had a nice long show. We talked about a lot of things. Talked about what's going on next year with the way too early power rankings, which is definitely going to change depending on what happens in free agency, depending on what happens in the draft. We'll have another one after free agency starts. We'll do another one after the draft, and we'll see where we're going to be during the summertime. But as of right now, there is no off season. This is just a break, the calm before the storm that's about to happen, and we'll start talking about all these rookies and who should be good. Look at the all the scouting reports for these guys and see who your team should be looking at. We'll start getting that stuff done in the next couple of weeks.
Just skip QB this year.
There's probably still be 2 drafted in the top 6. Watch.
Who's the second one?
You haven't seen the reports? What's going on?
And are you still talking about Carson Beck?
Yes.
To the Cardinals?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I was wondering if that's where you were going.
Yeah. I can't believe that, but whatever.
I saw a hilarious meme. It was somebody crying, and it was Arch Manning seeing the Jets loading up on draft picks for next year's draft.
That just made me think of one question before we get out here. I know I want to get off in a couple of seconds, but if the Saints are at the bottom of the draft and they like Shuck, Arch Manning's there.
They go Arch Manning.
Yep.
Do they go? Shouldn't they? Marketing wise, everything.
If they're down that low, I mean, Chuck will be 28 going into the next year. So.
Arch Manning. Once again, another Manning joins the Saints.
Yep. And they're from there. He's a hometown boy.
The Giants or the Colts or
100%.
The Colts. draft Arch and then trade for Marvin?
I would, because marketing wins games.
Right.
All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. We won't see you for, I think we're going to take a week off. So we're going to be back here in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Talking about what's going to happen with the new league year. This gives everyone a little vacation. Quick, you got 1 week to figure it all out. We'll be here in 2. Till then, we will see you guys a little bit later.
See you guys
later.
Peace.
Getting hyped when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate.